Hey guys, it's me Night Simmer here with something I haven't done yet, which is a speed build. This is going to be a speed build of our haunted house, which I want to use in a mini paranormal let's play that I'm planning. So I'm using a reference photo for this. If I can, I will pop it up onto screen. I used multiple though, so I may not be able to. And I'm just building the shell of it right now. So whilst I do that, whilst Past Me does that, I will tell you the backstory of what I was thinking for this Let's Play. So it's going to be probably a short Let's Play, and the backstory for it is going to be the sim that we are going to be controlling. Her name is Penelope Fairchild. You will meet her in the first episode. She's got word from this estranged grandmother that this estranged grandmother that she'd never knew has passed away and actually left the house to her, which is odd because she has never actually met this grandmother, at least not to her knowledge. And so she ends up going to this house and staying there, and she's not sure what she's going to do with it, but she's going to find that maybe this grandmother wasn't such a regular grandmother, we'll say, and you'll see why in a bit. So that'll just be the backstory of it. So I will talk a bit about the build right now. So I'm just doing the roof. This roof, as you can see, is multiple parts. And kind of gave me a bit of hassle, the roof of this. But I figured it out in the end by using the reference photo and sort of figuring out how they did their roof. And so you'll see I'm trying to do this here, and then I actually end up checking my reference photo and seeing they have more of this like this closed in roof, and so I end up doing this and then leave the little outcropping of the attic in the middle with the sloping roofs towards it. I bend the roofs in to give it that more like off-putting creepy vibe. If that's what it is, it was like it in my reference photo, that's why I've gone with it. I do stray from my reference photo because where I wanted the house to be so small and compacted, I actually struggle a lot with the floor plan, which you will see later. So that's that. But this is the main look of what I was going for, and I'm quite happy with how it turned out because I am in no way a builder. Oops. Yeah, I am in no way a builder, but I like building. It's fun, and I'm working on getting better at it, you know, learning some tips and that. So I think we are finished with the roof now. We're just doing the trim. So I really struggle with trims of roofs, and I never know what colour to do them. Like, I never know whether to have them stand out or try blend them in. Like, I don't know if this is like a problem for anyone else, but I never really know. I went with black because I remember I wanted the black tiles of the roof, so I thought that would be best. And these little posts here that I put on the balconies and the decking, I put all around the house, and then there's the black roof I was talking about. I put them all around the house, and then later on I decided I don't like how that looks, and I actually removed them, but that was just because I couldn't get them to... They didn't look like that right, because they look like the porch, like pillars, not like ones that you would have on the corners of your houses. And so I go for the wall... I'm painting the house now, and I paint it quite... like this dark grey colour because I was trying to go for the spooky vibe, and then I just couldn't get those white bits in the corner to work, and you'll see there are the pillars that I was talking about, like, not working. And here I'm actually putting on a little bump out at the back of the house, half to add room and half to just make the back of the house a bit more interesting. And you've already also just seen that I've moved it over to the side so that I could give the house a bit more of like a side yard. I don't say that. A bit more of a side garden, just so that there actually was some garden, a bit of outside, rather than just cramped house, you know, somewhere to breathe a bit. And I changed that spiky fence to the wooden one because I just wasn't feeling the spiky one. I'd picked it thinking that it would make the house look spooky, and then I wasn't feeling it, and I got rid of it, and I just give this basic stone foundation to the house as well. And then I don't know about you, but I always hate having to put the stairs on the decking because it's really hard to match it, in my mind, to what you then make the colour of the decking. But it seems, I've actually found some decently matching ones here, but yeah, and then me trying to figure out where to put the house there. And then the same stairs at the back. Okay, so now we're on to windows. Windows were a bit of a odd one for me, because some of them I knew exactly where they were going to go, and then some of them I start placing them, and you'll notice throughout this video the windows just change places and like pop in and out, because the ones on the side and the back especially, they were just giving me so much trouble, and I was trying to make them work with the floor plan, and then it was looking weird from the outside, and I in the end settle and I think it looks all right. But it was just, here's me removing those pillars now. But it was just, I always struggle with windows because I find that they're just, it's really hard to make them look good from the inside and the outside. Here's, as you'll see now, I'm starting on the floor plan, which I wanted to be quite cramped. I wanted the grandma's backstory to be that she, like, you know, she lived alone. She got quite lonely. She became somewhat of a, like, collector or like hoarder, whichever one you want to say, and just filled her house with all these different pieces, which you will see me put in later. But then, as you will see, she maybe felt lonely, maybe missed her ex-husband, not ex because he's done, but ex because he's died, former husband, I guess. And maybe that is why she started to get in on the paranormal. She started to explore it because that is the secret of this house, that if you go into the attic, you'll find a seance room, and throughout the house there'll be stuff dotted of like hints that maybe this isn't just a lonely old grandma's house. And yeah. So what am I doing now? I'm just decorating that hallway. Maybe I'll chat about something else. Whilst I was actually recording this, I was listening / half watching a drawing channel, which I think is quite funny. I'll tell you about that. But well, I'll tell you their name. The channel name's Drawfee. They're quite good. They're funny if you ever wanna check that out, if that's your sort of thing. But I was watching one episode and they were, well, it involved Muppets. That's all I can really explain. But as I was thinking about it, I was just remembering the fact that they were talking about how much they loved Muppets, and I've never really liked them. And if I'm quite honest, a lot of the Muppets actually freak me out, which is odd because I watched stuff like Teletubbies and that when I was younger, and that sort of thing didn't freak me out. But for some reason, stuff like the Muppets, and I think it's like, was it the Wombles or something? I just don't like them. I think I have like a deep-seated like hatred against certain puppets because they just really creep me out, which doesn't make sense really, does it? Because it's sort of made for children, but it's just, I just don't like it. Like, I don't like the Muppets, and I never really as far as I'm aware, I definitely don't now. Like, I'm quite creeped out by Sesame Street as well. But like, it's just like, I don't like them. But then that's weird because I remember watching Barney and loving Barney, and that's sort of like Sesame Street from what I remember. But I'm not sure, and it's just like, yeah, I don't like puppets. So that'll be fun. Here you can see I'm changing the outside of the house to a sort of lighter colour, maybe a bit more subtle on the spooky vibes, getting back into talking about the building. And yeah, I'm adding the chimney because I remembered that they added a, what is it called? A fireplace with this pack, and I really want to use the fireplace. And I never put chimneys or fireplaces in my houses, really. So I thought this would be a good time to do it. I learnt the technique from watching Lil Simsy, if I'm completely honest. I've learnt a lot of building techniques from watching her. I'm in no way as good as her, but it helps to watch, and it's like something just like, it's like calming to watch her videos, if I'm completely honest. Like, I know they're like a bit chaotic, but it's just like a nice little thing to watch. And I quite enjoy it. Here I'm changing those big windows because this is where the beginning of my struggle with the floor plan really starts, when I start trying to work out where I can put the kitchen. And I'm trying to fit it here and it's blocking the windows. And I really want to use those ugly counters, and then I don't even think I end up using them in the end. Again, I'm fiddling with the windows. But yeah, this kitchen literally just gave me so much like pain and trouble trying to work out where it was going. And at one point I try and switch which side it's on, And like here, I think I'm looking and switching, and I delete it because I'm like, no, it's blocked. I'm trying to see if I could fit the fireplace in there to maybe make that living room. And really the problem was that balcony, like, or decking, I guess, which was in the original photo, and I included it, and then in a minute you'll see me delete it because I realise it would be so much easier if I just got rid of it. Here you go, I'm deleting it now. And then I actually create this little like nook for where the kitchen goes. And I think it looks quite cute in the end. I don't add any windows, but I quite liked the like, I was trying to make the inside of the house appear quite, not like dark, but like homely in a like cramped, sort of not very well lit way. And here I'm just adding the appliances, and I think I mentioned, oh, I'm giving it away now, the fact that I've already recorded my finishing clip, but I do mention that I use these cooker and oven because I want to sort of show that this is an old house and her grandma lived here for quite a while. And it's quite sad to think about the fact that she was like here all alone. I haven't thought about why she'd be estranged. I might leave it just like a mystery why she was estranged, and why our sim that you will meet later had no idea that she had this grandma that lived in this big house. Again, fiddling with windows. I'm here moving the toilet and creating a bigger living room, which I think does help in the end, and helps also to, it creates that weird shape in the kitchen and dining room, but I think it makes it better, and the fact that it is more enclosed helps me to design a like more crowded yet like homely feeling area and space. Here I am changing the sconces because I decided I preferred the blue colour as opposed to the red, though I do keep some of the red furniture. And what I do here is I really think I want to use that thing and I can't make it fit, and I think, oh, I'll use it later, I'll put it upstairs or something, and I never put it in. And I'm kind of annoyed about that because I don't realise until I'm finished, and then I'm like, well, I've already done all the rooms now, I can't make it fit. So I'll have to use that in another build or something, somehow make it work, because it is a really cute piece. The furniture in this pack is so like, it's somehow out there but also fits in, like you could, it's quite stylized, but at the same time it's like just old, and you can like use it in houses, I think at least, that aren't exactly haunted. Like obviously this is a haunted house that I'm building, but that's because I want to play with the paranormal pack, and I wanted a haunted house. Though I don't have it, but I think this furniture would go really well with the movie stuff pack. I really want that pack, I just haven't gotten around to getting it yet. I'm like slowly working on getting the packs in order of what I think I'll use more. And it's just one of those things where I really like the build stuff and that, but I know I'm not going to use it that much, so it's like lower on my list to get. Though I do think the stuff in that pack is really cool. I'm now working on the living room. I don't put TV in or anything because in my head the grandma didn't really watch most TV. She just sort of like did her own thing, maybe read her books, just spent some time. I put in a garden, so I like the idea that she is into her gardening during the day, but in my mind she spends, the second it starts to get dark, she goes up to that seance room and that's where she stays until she gets too tired and has to go to bed. Here I am adding some of the paintings. I don't often use these like older paintings. I don't even think I often put paintings in my houses, which doesn't make sense because the walls always look so bare. So I've started trying to put paintings in, but I thought this house was like the perfect opportunity to use some of those like more classic or older looking paintings that I don't often use. Here I am doing the bathroom now. Oh, going back to putting a light in there, but now I'm onto the bathroom. And I cut out the other two bathrooms because they're basically the exact same but smaller, but I leave this one in because it has a bit more to it. It's got a bit more personality because I also add in the washer and dryer from the laundry day pack. Just like to fill up the room a bit more and just give it a sort of like separate laundry room vibe as well. We don't actually really, as far as I'm aware, I'm from the UK, and as far as I'm aware, separate laundry rooms, at least in the houses that I know people to have, aren't as big a thing. They sort of just, you have your washing machine and that like in the kitchen and stuff. So like it's weird to me like building these like separate laundry rooms, so it makes more sense like to me to like have it in a bathroom or in a kitchen. But I see a lot of like the American simmers build these like separate laundry rooms, and it's like such a like odd like idea to me to have a whole room dedicated to laundry. And I think I'm done with this bathroom. I just put in the light here. I put in the blank one. I think when I am in game, I will dim those lights more, and maybe just keep going the like sort of darker, more creepy vibe that I had going through the rest of the house. You see, it's very much yellow lighting. And there's like some dark corners, like maybe just make it a bit spookier. And here I am just filling in that one random little corner in the hallway. I never knew that table was in the base game. I don't know if they just sometimes randomly add furniture and I'm just unaware of it, or if I just don't branch out enough, but I found that table and I thought it was really cute, and it really worked just to like fit in that little space and put a plant pot on there. Here I am adding the ladder and the bookcase door. I knew I wanted to add a bookcase door, but with the layout I had done with the floor plan, I was really worried I wasn't going to be able to fit it. But I'm really glad I managed to get it to work, and then I just make the rest of the room this sort of like cramped little study. Yeah, and I started using different wallpaper because I was like, I can't use this exact same wallpaper throughout the house. It's just, it wouldn't happen. Like, maybe that it would have been used for the others, but it just wouldn't happen. And I don't often use the wallpaper with the paneling, so I thought this was a good chance to use it as well. And this desk, I'm going to be really honest, is really cute. Like, it's like such an adorable little desk, and I really like the blue shade. And I did try and use one of the pack ones, and I don't think I did in the end. No, I didn't. I used this one, which isn't from the paranormal pack, but somehow the exact shade of blue matched the desk like perfectly, and I was like so happy that I discovered this chair that like matched this like random shade of blue, but they were like the same shade. And then I just chuck in another bookshelf, the same one I used downstairs, and then throw up these curtains, which are really cute. And I think normally you would think like, oh, I won't use them in every house. But if I'm quite honest, I don't use curtains that often anyway. And I think they're really cute. So I might just start shoving them in my houses for the sake of it. Because I don't actually like a lot of the curtains in my houses. And quite often I will just leave them out. Okay, so now you can see the bathrooms are done. I'm painting the bedrooms. This one is the grandma's bedroom. And the second I picked that pink wallpaper, I was like, she's having a pink room. Like, I was adamant on that choice. Like, here are the new bedside tables. They're quite cute. These like boxy bedside tables, I don't really know. I don't use them that often, so I don't know how much I'll actually use those. And that I think it's eco living, that light anyway. I love it. It's adorable. I wish I could shove it in every bedroom, every house I ever do, but I can't. And these little lights, these like triangle lights that come with paranormal stuff, are they just like spooky shaped candle lights, or are they like incense, or like what are they? Like, I'm not sure. Anyway, you'll see her bedroom has that hideous rug, which I thought just went perfectly with, like, maybe she picked it up at a flea market and just brought it home and put it in her bedroom. But her bedroom is quite bare because, like I said, I imagine that she spends most of her night actually up in the seance room, and she purely sleeps in there. Like, she does not spend any time in her bedroom. And then this is the second room of the house. It's quite an expensive house for a 2-bedroom thing, but in my mind it didn't matter how expensive it ended up being because she's inheriting it anyway, so I can just put her in it with the free real estate sheet, and then obviously I'll have to earn money to like keep living there and pay the bills. But she's inherited the house, so it wouldn't make sense to me that I had to like keep the price low so that she could afford it, because I can just move her in. But this bedroom, in my mind, is the bedroom of her son. It's her son in my like mind, and maybe he lived here for a bit, and then maybe his mum was she was just a bit kooky. He like knew she went up into the attic at night, but he didn't know what she did. And this is how I'm coming up with this now because I like this idea that I've just had. And this is how she becomes so estranged from her family, because her son, the second he can, he moves out and he doesn't go back. And that's why this room she's left it untouched, because obviously she misses her son, but he's gone. And now we're on to the seance room. And I used the City Living wallpaper to just make it look a bit more grungy up there, because obviously it's an attic. It's not going to have perfectly wallpapered walls or anything. And I'm putting in the seance table and stuff up here, because I thought it was a fun idea to like hide it up in the attic. And these little hieroglyph things, or whatever they're called, I put them round like this, and then I've moved them in to make them circular around the table, and I was really proud of that idea. And then using the chairs some more and just rotating the table. And then I just fill it with some small little clutter after this, because I didn't feel the need to put much else up here, because it is a really tiny room. I do playtest it and it does work, the room, so I don't have to worry about that. And then putting the hand up here. I don't know if I've put the hand anywhere else in the house. That'll be a fun surprise if I just randomly find that later. And then again, I put the cow plant there, but then I move it onto a shelf on the wall. I was just desperate to use that cow plant. I think it's adorable, even though I never actually play with the big cow plants. Yeah, it's just cute. And then I just put some random shelves, like just maybe some random, just she needed some storage up there, so she put them there. And that's why they mismatch and they don't exactly match each other, and they're sort of randomly placed. And then a few of her spooky items. I think we'll have to maybe get some crystals or something to like also put up here. And then I never use the gnomes in my buildings, because quite frankly I hate the gnomes. Probably the same theme on the fact that I hate puppets. I hate gnomes. But I'm not scared of gnomes. I hate them. And I can't explain it. But there's the cow plant, go back up on the wall. But I thought this Grim Reaper gnome, it worked in the seance room. And the fact that his eyes glowed and it was quite a dingy room again, just it was cute to me. And then some boxes, because obviously it is her attic. She clearly has a lot of stuff, so she's storing it up there for now. And yeah. What do I do now? I think I'm just checking the house. I add this rug and I'm just checking that everything is finished. Yeah, here we go. We're working on the outside. So I give her this little rocking chair, because in my mind, whenever there's big porches, there will always be a rocking chair, especially if a grandma is present. And maybe she just like sits there. Maybe she's like not very like well liked by her neighbours. Maybe they're scared of her. Maybe they don't interact with her often. But she'll just like sit on her porch, and it'll be like a local thing of like, oh, don't go near her house, she's crazy. And in reality, she's not crazy. She was just a lonely old woman who missed her son, missed her husband, and turned to the occult. I'm now just going to do the landscaping. I do say later that I'm not very good at landscaping, but I'm working on it, I'm learning it. Again, I keep it very simple for this one, because I already thought she's in quite a nature-y area. I purposely picked this lot because I wanted the house to be not on a street. I wanted it to sort of be out there. Like, it makes sense that she's like quite out alone, like on her own. Doesn't really see many people. And so I kept where it is so like wild around her house, I didn't put much landscaping in. Also a way for me to hide the fact that I have no idea how to do landscaping, but you know, there's that. And so I just had a couple bushes, a couple plants, and I actually somehow lost my recording for half of the garden. So you'll see at the end of this video that I do add some furniture and like a patio out here as well. But it will cut off soon with the fact that I think the last thing you watch me place is a well from the romantic garden stuff. I don't know if we use it, but I never get to use it, and I thought it fitted her garden and looked cute. And so, yeah, I have no idea why my recording didn't record the whole garden, but I was happy with what I did before it cuts off, and you'll see the rest of it later. It was just, I kept it really simple. I liked the idea that she does do her gardening, like that's maybe how she spends a lot of her like daytime before she goes and spends the rest of it in the attic. So she does get the sunlight, she is outside a lot. But she loves her reading, but it is the secret of the attic, and that's what it'll be. I did debate putting this dirt path, and then I was like, no, I preferred it so much more greener. And I just thought it was ugly. And here you go, here's the patio. I do change it though. Yeah, there you go. I do change it and add that. So you do see me do the patio, but I do add some basic benches and plant pots to it later. But like I said, the recording is going to run out in a second, so you will see my walkthrough at the end in a minute. And I hope you enjoyed. Okay guys, so we are just in game here now. This is the finished house. I've just put a random sim in here for now to just go through and show it to you guys. I think it looked quite similar to the reference that I used, and I'm quite impressed with it. I did change it a bit just because I was really struggling with the floor plan, because I really wanted that like closed off floor plan, but it seems to have ended up good. The garden's pretty nice as well, pretty proud of it. I'm in no way a landscaper, but you know, I think that looks good. Anyway, we'll look at that in more detail in a second. So if we just come down here, so you will have to walk up this driveway. And there's the rocking chair on the porch here, and we will go through the front doors to start. So it's this very small space, just a little entryway, some shoes, and a coat rack, and it splits off into the two halves of the house. So if we go this way first, as you can see, it is the living room. With the whole house, I wanted it to feel very much like crowded and like mismatched, like she's been collecting the furniture for her whole life and she's just scattered it around, and that's why the colours don't always match. But it's a very much eclectic feel that I was going for, and I didn't put a TV in this house because I was doing it as the grandma's house and I just didn't feel like she would have had a TV. But there's a little reading nook over here, and then some more chairs and seats. There's lots of seats in this house, even though I don't imagine she had much company. And then here is just a little downstairs bathroom and laundry room. Again, very much just like the furniture's just been plonked in here. It's very crowded, but I was quite proud of it. I need to change these lights because they're a bit brighter than I wanted. I wanted the whole house to feel kind of like dim and like very much the creepy vibe that we are going for. So yeah, this is the little laundry room. I used a lot of these like yellowy colours to like give it the sort of like old, I guess, dirty feel. But we'll just move on from here. If we go this way, we will come into the kitchen slash dining area, I guess. There's the picture there from the paranormal pack. And I'm quite a fan of all the furniture, really. Like, it really, like, it's quite cute. And like this little dining table, I'll just like push to the side because she clearly doesn't get many guests. She doesn't even have like the table cleared off. She's got some little like tea stuff instead. And then just a little sofa and some plates stacked up. And this cow plant is actually adorable. Like, I love it. And then I've got some pictures. Oh, I forgot I put the light there as well. I will fix that, but I've got some pictures going up the stairs there. The light will probably go there. And this is the staircase here. Ignore the fact those are there. I wanted the same wallpaper, but had to make it work with the stairs. So this is the best I could do. But I gave it that very closed off staircase because, again, I wanted it to feel like a very closed off house, quite cramped. And I guess claustrophobic, you could say. And here's the little like kitchen nook here. Fire alarm. I forgot to put a bin in. I've just realised. That's fine. We'll make room for one when I start playing in this house. I gave the like older feel kitchen equipment, like the cooker and the fridge, because I thought that fit again with the like old house vibes. And we may renovate some of this house once we start living in it a bit, maybe update it, but I don't know. I'm really quite like the like cramped, clustery feel of this. And then here is the back door out to the garden, so it just comes out onto a patio. Here's some of the more newer looking furniture. Maybe it was like one of her more recent purchases before she passed away. And then out here, just some greenery. Like, she let her house sort of dilapidate into a hoarder style, but she looked after her plants still. So here are some planters and then a little bench. And then I just threw the wishing well in because I feel like I never get to use the wishing well and I really wanted to put it in. So that's that. And here is the landscaping that I don't think looks bad, but I could do better. But I don't do much landscaping. I've only really just started doing it. So there is that. Just some more of her flowers and the view. Like, let's be honest, this is such a cute little area for the house to be. Like, the little stepping stones over there, like, and it's like cute, but also it gives off the, like, I don't know, sort of like swampy vibes. So that's kind of cool. Right, if we go back in here, we can go up the stairs now. So if we just go up, oh, that is down. So if we just go up the stairs into this dark little hallway, I've used the same pictures again. So just a little table, simple, just to fill in this corner and a plant. And then the first room we can go into, I think, is this one, which would have been the grandma's bedroom. Very pink. Like, I wanted to try and keep the very pink vibe once I'd started with the wallpaper. So it's got this, like, hideous rug, but I think it just goes with the whole, like, eclectic feel of the room. Very much separate pieces just shoved together rather than one whole piece. And then this room has the ensuite. Just a simple little bathroom. They all look the same really, just because I forgot to put a washing basket in this one. But they all look the same. And I put these little lights in because I wanted it to feel like, I will dim them, but I wanted it to feel like she didn't really, like, bother putting up light covers. What are they called? I don't know, but you know the covers that go over light bulbs. So I've left all the, put in these to pretend that she's left all the light bulbs bare in the bathrooms. And again, gave them the colour scheme of downstairs of just making it feel quite, like, dull and groggy. And so if we come this way, we will cross the hallway into another bathroom. I put a washing basket in this one. It's basically copy and pasted. Oh, look at that. My house is so cramped, it's seeing through the walls. That's weird. So if we come back to the hallway, I believe this is a bedroom. Yes, okay, so this is the single room. Maybe it was like the room of her child before they moved out and they just never really come back, but she never really did much for it. But it's again the very, like, old looking vibe. I'm not sure, just some paintings on the wall, another one of him. And then if we come out here, it's just a little balcony with a nice view. So they don't have an ensuite, but they have a nice little balcony and a chest table I shoved in here. I tried to shove in some, oh, there's some ruins over there. I just tried to shove in some, like, skill building items. I don't know how much skill building we'll be doing, but just in case we need them, and put in some bookshelves and stuff as well, just for, like, entertainment, since we don't have a TV for that. So that is this room. I'm quite proud of it. The rooms are quite empty and bare, but this one especially, because I feel like obviously no one's been in here for a while. And her room, I got the vibe that she only really goes in there to sleep, so she didn't really need much in here. Like, she doesn't spend much time in her bedroom, so that's why I've left it like this. And then, the most interesting part of the house, you just come down this tiny cramped little hallway into this room, which you might think, oh, it's just a study, you know, just a simple study. Gave her this computer, like maybe someone in her family, like, that wasn't estranged from her was like, you need to get a computer so we can stay in contact or something like that. Looks out onto the front balcony that just looks out over the front of the house here. And then it's the computer here. But then if we go to this bookshelf, it is actually a bookcase door that leads up to a ladder that leads in to the seance room. Ignore our test sim Blair Witching in the corner. That is because I was testing that you could get up here and everything. So we've scattered more of these items around. I sort of subtly put them around the house but I want to make sure I put a few more spooky stuff here. Obviously some storage because it is the attic. And then just some bits and bobs. Maybe I'll fill that shelf up a little bit more if we find some more stuff, but I don't know. Gave her the Grim Reaper gnome up here. And then just another one of the cow plants. I really liked it. Ignore the fact that it's clipping in the ceiling. I just really wanted to include it. So yeah, and I feel like every night the story will be that she came up here and she just... She came up here and she performed her seances. And I think very soon our sim will move in and actually discover that this room is up here. And maybe, you know, give it a go for herself. So, that is the house. I hope you guys liked it. I'm actually quite proud of it. I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye!